the 1 minute one.
In lieu of talking about the game.
Edit. We're pros, bro.
I mean, look at this getup.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, Kevy.
And hello to everybody out there in podcast land and on American Hammers TV. We are the Columbus E13. I'm Kev.
Marc Roston.
Marc Roston. And I'm going to take my glasses off because now I'm blind as a bat. Sorry we missed last week. Lots of things got in the way, and I'm sure you guys all missed us terribly. But you will survive, like Gloria Gaynor.
Who?
I love it when stuff like that happens, dude. I will survive, dude. Gloria Gaynor, disco queen, 1978. Were you alive? You weren't alive.
No, long before.
Okay.
Long before.
Ooh, I'm old. Okay. So in any case, lots of weird things happened. So we couldn't do the podcast last week. I had to DJ at a crazy fetish party. I got bursitis of the knee, which has been crippling, like the most crippling, terrible pain I've ever felt in my whole life.
It was falling apart.
Almost. Well, yeah, that's what happens.
I guess that happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
a year. You got a year or two.
Yeah.
You should be okay. But we could get right into the business at hand because it's going to be a real fun day to talk about West Ham United.
I mean, every day has been just fantastic lately, hasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Let's give a hand for West Ham here. All right. They only get the small applause today. That's it.
You got some new sound effects going. So we got that in the interim. At least we're coming back with new stuff.
Yeah, we're coming. We gotta get new material.
I mean, well, we don't have any wins to talk about, so we'll just highlight these things.
We have plenty of not wins to talk about. Since we didn't do a show last week, we could just skip right over last week's loss. Let's do that and get right to Newcastle. Okay.
All right. So
that was fucking terrible.
I missed the first two goals.
Okay.
More on that in a moment. But even what I did see, just, it was, I saw the lineup released, and it's like, what the hell?
Right.
This was already an underwhelming squad the week before, and you're going to trot out the exact same starting 11.
Well, before we even get into the performance and the lineup and stuff,
yeah.
you were actually out of town this past weekend. Yeah. You were in Florida.
Yes, I was at a family wedding in West Palm Beach.
Okay.
It was 85 degrees and sunny.
Suck.
It was a good way to ring in daylight savings time.
Isn't that Trump land down there? West
It
Palm
was.
Beach?
Actually, we were down there just as he changed his residence to Palm Beach County, Florida. And, I mean, it lives up to the septuagenarian plus stereotype.
Wow.
I mean, I got into the airport Friday night at 6, and everything was closed. Every ad was for, be back comfortable with a new catheter.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, it was...
Was there a free, a celebratory gift for his announcement of moving to the area?
None that I saw. No.
That's unfortunate.
No. But, my parents, who, if are not football fanatics, appreciate the culture and the spectacle and, everything that drives us to produce a show about it.
Right.
Thought they had found a bar in I forget which town in this peninsula. Show up, and they do not have NBC Sports Gold.
Oh no!
They're a Gaelic football bar, but they
had ESPN Plus probably to watch some of that stuff.
Yeah, but none of the extra games. But
no PL stuff.
The bartender, super nice lady, sympathetic to our plight.
Yep.
Found another pub, the Lion and Eagle English pub in
Lion and Eagle
small plaza in Boca Raton, Florida.
Nice.
Near the coastline.
Oh, we got sound effects for days now, bro. Go ahead.
Probably 20 feet wide and probably about 40 to 50 feet deep.
Oh, tiny.
Very tiny space.
Yeah.
But everybody, any like South Florida supporters group is in there.
Nice.
From what I could gather,
like all different teams, not just West Ham.
They had every game save Brighton and Norwich on the screen. But I mean, nobody had sound on, but you had people in different corners yelling, cheering at whatever.
Were there any other West Ham fans there with you?
There were not.
Okay.
I was next to a Man City supporters group.
Ooh.
Nice enough guys.
Okay.
We'll let the Tayson team.
But you were there represent.
Indeed.
That.
But we walk in right in the door.
Yep.
Just as Newcastle scored their second.
Okay. Fantastic.
There's one single man in a Newcastle jersey there. Kit, my bad.
There was one guy there, or not?
One guy in a Newcastle kit.
All right.
I was the only one showing up for West Ham.
Yelling and screaming and yelling.
Yes. No. It was. His name was Colum. He was from Glasgow. He was a massive Newcastle fan.
Okay.
And the entire hour plus that we were there was basically a pissing contest to see who had more self agony. Who could predict who was going to crater quicker.
Did he cheer when Snotty scored?
No.
Oh, surprising.
No. He was.
Hometown lad can't get behind him.
He
didn't throw fire bombs at you or anything like that.
No, he actually
in the pub.
No, he actually hates Celtic.
Okay.
Yeah, he's he's like those IRA fucks.
Okay.
He had some other. I'm trying to. He works in economic development in a job that he can only describe as pissing people off.
Okay.
Screamed, yelled impulsively at every play as we're accustomed to.
I like that.
He would have. Yes.
I like that passion.
He would have fit in
with
very
us,
well,
except for he had the wrong kid on.
Yes.
Right.
But we had an understanding. I think we knew each other's plight.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a good time. Got to say, despite the result. Result that the scoreline really did not deserve.
Right.
We had a good time, had a blast. It was a good pregame to continue drinking at a wedding.
Excellent.
And
so this was the same day as the wedding. So you watched that, woke up, got miserable, got pissed drunk, and then went to a wedding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got dressed, watched a little bit of college football in between, but
that's a full day.
It was a good day.
Okay.
It was,
Well, you were sorely missed at Pub Mahone, and
how was everything there?
It was okay. We had a decent handful of people. It was a somber mood, of course. It was just kind of like, even before the first Newcastle goal, it was this like. And it was like everybody was like Play-Doh. Like we're just kind of sitting there like, what are they doing? Like, and then I was surprised to see Zabaleta out there against basically the fastest, attackers in the PL. And,
still trying to see him get up.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not to try to steal insight. I must admit, I did listen to West Ham is Why We Drink earlier today. And just to see what their thoughts were, and those guys were dead on. They had the same thoughts, probably that all of us did, and that is that why on earth was Zaba in there in the first place, let alone as long as he was. You know what I mean? Like when they made their first changes, like why not get him out of there?
Well, I mean the halftime subs of Lanzini and Ajeti, who
right.
We're in Ohio. We're going to make these references.
Right.
To me, he's like the Cleveland tourism video, the verse when they're like, who knows you might even see this guy. He shows up. He's another, striker they bought at Primark or whatever.
Right.
Who can't do anything. And,
so far he hasn't shown shit. So, sorry. Guess we'll have to mark this one as explicit as well. I just,
fuck.
I don't know what is going on. Everybody's highlight reel is like so fantastic. They're all talking about like every pundit is talking about how Fornals has gone from like the next coming to like who is this wet paper bag that we got?
Yeah, he's almost like a new scapegoat.
Yeah, it's
But we're not seeing him
No.
at all.
No.
I mean,
and Lanzini came on and is starting to show better form.
Yeah,
for sure.
He he did a good job of, Felipe not passing the ball.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Nothing that you could not hear or read in the immediate post-game reaction that we could offer new insight.
It was just
into.
very listless. That's why I made that Instagram post about, I was watching Weekend Review on Sports Gold on Monday and watching Dion Dublin and Tim Sherwood talk about the game. And, even those guys are Arsenal and Blackburn guys respectively, but they're dead on. You know what I mean? Dion was a little nicer. Tim Sherwood told it how it is. And you know what? Neither of them were close to being wrong. And they were just basically, they are underperforming like you can't believe, but watch out because they could ruin your day at any day. Well, I'm waiting for it, bro. What the fuck? You know what I mean?
They're saying this about West Ham?
Yeah. They basically, here, I have the exact quotes right here in the phone. So at one point, Dion said... Where is my commentary remarks? Okay, so Dion Dublin said, for me watching West Ham, the worst thing about this, forget all the stats and everything, it's the body language of the players. They kind of looked like they were half asleep.
I mean, it's the last how many games where only 3-4 guys, they say, are applauding people at the end.
Right.
Everyone's walking off the field. I mean, Snoddy is really the only guy who looks like
right.
he cares at the moment.
And they mentioned Snodgrass, too, and he said, they don't seem to be running, busting the gut, and, putting their bodies on the line, and nobody is really putting forth the effort. Essentially, what he was saying. But then Sherwood was he called them a sunshine club. You know what he means by
that?
that?
Sing when you're winning?
No,
thing?
he says they have always been fantastic offensive players, but when there's no obstacles in the way, when the sun is shining, when the confidence is flowing, we can all play under them circumstances, he said, but when you need to roll up your sleeves and grind out a result, you've only got 2 or so players able to do that, Noble and Rice and Snodgrass, arguably.
Yeah. They
need to find more. They need to find more consistency. So, I mean, yeah, exactly.
We have seen this, it's just like another season sleepwalking, as James Longman was saying after the Sheffield game.
Right.
Just another season where, we come in talking about top 6, talking about these things that aren't really based or grounded in any rationale.
Well, I mean, you can see sparks of genius.
But again,
something is not motivating.
Or somebody gets injured.
Right.
Take your pick of what it is, and then they slide into some precarious position.
Right.
They'll... presumably maybe sign somebody in January. I know that's being debated right now.
Right.
And then we'll go on, there'll be a nice little 3-game win streak. There'll be, some runs of points in the winter, and they'll end up in another forgettable mid-table finish. I mean, it's almost like, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat.
I mean, you're right. It's just... unbelievable. But I mean, even these guys were basically making the point that, no matter what, at the end of the year, they always seem to have some say as to, whether or not somebody can finish in the top 4 or be relegated if it's not going to be them, or, you know what I mean? Why can't they just, I don't know. It's just like what we were talking about before about whether or not it would just be boring to win all the time, which I still believe it totally would. You want the drama, but can we just have it a little more spaced out? You know what I'm saying?
We don't have to be number 1 in the poll.
Can we just win a game that we're supposed to win? You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden okay, so I'm going to get to see the Leicester game at London Stadium on December 28th.
It's looking good so far.
Right. That's the kind of game that they usually come and kick ass. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, I'm crossing my fingers and toes and everything else I got right now because, I mean, it's going to be my first game at London Stadium. I can't wait to do it. And I already know it's going to be a super fun day anyway, but my God, if they could win that game, I mean, Leicester might be, top of the table by then.
The way they're playing?
I mean, unbelievable.
Well, I mean, probably not.
Did you see the comments this week from Big Sam when he talked about that they could have had Jamie Vardy for £1 million?
Yes, and he admitted that he made a mistake.
Unbelievable!
Wow, the old man can still
stranger things indeed.
Can't believe he just copped out to something.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I know that you sent me some notes ahead of time. Look, we were actually prepared.
What a difference a week makes.
Right. Yeah. 1 week off. We're like fresh. But you were like talking about where we are in our season comparatively to the past couple of seasons.
This whole rinse and repeat thing where we are collectively as a fan base anxious, angry.
Right.
I mean, you try to mine out one positive spot.
Right.
And here
part
we
of
are
what gives
again.
us our fire, by the way.
Yeah.
You just don't want to get it extinguished.
Yeah.
Right.
You still got to find something good.
Something.
And I mean, so what? We just went back the last 5 seasons.
Yeah.
For this.
You had like little clips about where we were at those points.
5 seasons, that's a good launch year. We don't want to get too deep.
Although I mean, your notes about where we were 5 seasons ago. So you're talking about 2014. That was the best. You said we were in 3rd place by Christmas. At Christmas? I didn't remember that.
They were like world beaters for a little bit.
Holy shit. That was still Upton Park.
Still Upton Park.
Slavin's first year?
No, that would have been Sam's last year.
Okay.
That was when, they had that shambolic 13-14 season where David said you need to hire an attacking coach because you're Big Sam and you play that hoofball shit.
Right.
So Teddy Sheringham came in, and then we found our 20-goal season strikers in Ener Valencia and Diafra Sacco. And I think Andy was hurt again.
I used to love Sacco, for a half a year.
We always romanticized the worst players.
And then he just turned into such an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just don't.
But this is like the breed that we attract.
It's.
I mean,
at some point that's got to say something about.
Oh yeah.
West Ham, or
It says. It's a point about who you can attract, who you can. Who can afford.
True.
Yeah, and this whole we're in the Premier League, type thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, my favorite was 15. There was a real feel-good factor at that time.
Right.
I mean, besides the fact that it was the last season, you had Slaven coming in and being this 180 in management.
Sure.
But we were also winning games. We got Brendan Rodgers the sack from Liverpool. I think we contributed to Jose Mourinho getting the sack from Chelsea. We beat...
I forgot about that. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, we beat Man City. We beat Arsenal on opening day.
Yep, I remember that.
Those were some good times.
Those were good times, but I thought terrible away kits. That was that weird baby blue thing with the you know what I'm saying?
You're picking fighting words.
Yeah, I know. I
mean,
you love that.
Me
you
and
love that blue.
Me and Johnny both.
I know. I've got one.
That's our favorite kit.
I know.
Every time we wear it, it's like, yeah, you got the kit on.
Yeah, the kit.
The kit.
Well, John also liked that gray one from last year, so.
Oh yeah, that one was a little bit cursed, wasn't it?
That was weird. It was supposed to be white, but it kind of I don't know what it always looked like it was dirty.
It wasn't like those off pink beige.
No. It's not nearly the worst kits in the league for sure. Oh, yeah. It was just I mean, I guess I like the gray one a little bit better than the baby blue one, but yeah, the white not compared to what we got this year. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
those are sweet.
Oh yeah, because you got both of them.
I did.
Nice.
Had to do it.
So, those were 2 good seasons.
Right.
But the last 3 have been...
Not so good.
Not great.
Not so good.
Yeah, I took a look at the results from 16. I was like, I remember, my first match with the E13 was a 1-0 win over Bournemouth.
Right.
But then I'm looking at, we lost to Watford. We lost to West Brom.
Yep.
In a relegation year.
Yep.
I mean, this is another year where they were not winning the games that they were, quote unquote, supposed to win.
Which is the West Ham way.
More or less.
If they're supposed to win it, that's when they're not going to come to play.
And I mean, you had on top of the fact that, you just couldn't make anybody happy in the new stadium.
That's true. That was a terrible, terrible...
It was a long year.
Yeah.
It was a long year.
It was even hard to watch from here. You know what I mean? You could almost feel the tension. That was the same year as like the pitch invasions and everything in the Burnley game and stuff, right?
No, that would have been next year because it had to get worse.
Right.
Because this time...
Oh, that's right.
This time 2 years ago, we were a relegation zone team.
Yep.
Slaven had gotten the sack.
Yep.
Everybody was mad that David Moyes had come on.
Right.
I remember showing up at the Mayor. Eric was like, why can't we get Marco Silva? Why can't we get Sean Dyche?
Right.
I'm like, you realize this is West Ham. Like, no one's going to want to, jump into this right now. I mean, that was those were bleak times.
Yeah, but, the funny thing about that is, why can't we get this guy? Why can't we get that guy? Then all of a sudden they get Pellegrini. And I remember, Matt Ellis was instantly groaning about that. He was just oh no, not the Emperor. And I was like, what do you mean? And I didn't know what Pellegrini looked like. I looked him up. I'm like, oh my God, he does look like the Emperor. Emperor Pellpetine.
I mean, he was pretty dead-eyed.
Emperor Pellpetine, as I like to call him now. Right. Oh.
Add that.
What do we got? Here he comes in his black robes. Emperor Pellpetine.
Don't we have to be a bit of more menacing presence to play that?
Well, I mean, did you see that Instagram post I made right after they signed him where I actually...
Oh, yeah, welcome him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did that for Matt, but everybody seemed to like it. So, truth is, I didn't know much about the man except for the fact that he had won the league with Man City. I didn't understand. I still kind of don't that... a lot of things people are saying, especially fans online and stuff, don't they understand? If somebody goes to China, you just don't touch them with a 10-foot pole after that. You know what I mean? There's a reason they went to fucking China.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that is the question that is still unanswered 2 years later.
Yeah.
Is he this guy that, was brilliant? He had more to prove than just he kept the seat warm for Pep Guardiola, or... is he just a guy at the end of the line looking for one more big payday? Third highest paid coach in the league. I
mean, but you have to be able to make the argument though that the man has and his team of people have they've gotten the best signings that we've had in years.
Would we say that? I mean, will we say that is out of necessity? Because, at the way things are going now, they're basically going to have to break the transfer record every year.
Well, isn't that every time? Every team, every time?
We're going to have... Yeah, this is almost by necessity. If you're going to be an established Premier League team, as they have been since 2012, if anyone can believe that.
Right.
We need to keep...
7 years running strong.
But at the same time... we're not selling anybody good. You've made maybe 2 big money transfers out. Everybody else that we have signed, either they just play out the rest of their contracts, leave on a free, or, you sell them at a loss. With
our biggest guys have left, disgruntled,
Yeah, no.
Payet and Arnie or whatever.
Adrian is really the happiest situation that you could think of. Guy that fulfilled his contract.
Yep.
They said, you have not had a consistent playing time.
Right.
With Fab in place, you're not the number one.
Right.
You're making too much. He was cool with it, and he found a great situation at Liverpool.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah. That is really the best, most amicable moving on that I have seen.
Club legend and a class act
from us French girls.
Exactly. So what do you think? Do you think that the Emperor has lost his mind?
Well, I was reading this at lunch. Always need content.
Oh, scratchy. We gotta clean that mixer.
Just edit it in post.
So what do you think?
So word on the street...
His lineups were suspect, for sure.
Well, word on the street is he is in no danger.
That is true.
Word on the street is Mario Husios, his own man, his director of football.
Yeah, the
is
guy
in
that's
danger.
made. Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
I haven't heard that.
Oh yeah. This was in the Guardian today.
Okay.
I feel like that's the only source I bring up. I swear I read more. But there is immediately in the boardroom questioning over why he signed Pablo Fornals, which everybody has been asking for at least a month.
Right.
I mean, I think there was curiosity even coming into it. But
it is weird the way that they use him, or I should say, don't use him. You know what I mean?
I mean, the line is, he's adjusting to the Premier League.
Okay.
I mean,
So he's a poor farm boy come to the big city. Is that what's going on?
Well, the bigger, I think that's hard to say. We just haven't seen him enough, and I mean, there are people that have not played well to begin.
Sure,
Antonio didn't play well when he first came up, for example. So and he's young, and he's on what, a 6-year deal, something like that. He's here for a little bit,
right?
So I don't think there's much sense in getting hyped up or deeming him a failure.
Right.
Roberto is the more glaring one. This is a guy that he picked. He played. So I didn't realize that
Mario picked.
Yes, because he was keeper at Malaga, where Husios and Pelli both were at once upon a time.
Right.
He started with them in a relegation year for that squad, and he did not play. He did not see any first team action.
The whole year? I didn't know
Last
that.
season.
Okay.
Last season he saw no first team action.
Right.
Which I guess helps justify why they also bought David Martin as a keeper.
Right.
So you have
people are crying out in pain to have him on the field.
I mean, we'll take anybody. Would we even take Joe Hart back at this point?
No. Heather, would we take Joe Hart back? I'm still going to get Heather a West Ham jersey that says not Joe Hart on the back.
But I mean, it feels like that's where we're at. I mean, there is no expectation to keep a clean sheet the rest of this year.
Well, at least until Lucas comes back.
I mean, but that's not until like January,
probably.
I think. I mean, but it's just like it is such a glaring oversight on the part of this management to think, we took it for granted that Fabianski would just be healthy, and we're paying for it.
I don't know that I feel like they took it for granted. I mean, they had to have seen something in the guy. I didn't know that he didn't play any first team action last year at all. Okay, well, I guess.
It could be anything.
I mean, he looked real shaky in like the cup games that he played in. I was like, holy, what the?
Oh yeah,
what the fuck's going on there?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, especially. I don't know. At this point, I think I'd like to see Martin. I'd like to at least see what he can do.
It would be nice if we had another cup match to blow him in.
Well,
Well,
FA Cup's probably rolling around, right? We're not out of that.
Well, I mean, but then that just makes me pessimistic for another cup exit and, another year where, they don't play in the competitions where they should be playing in.
Right.
So, but such is life. This is the dilemma that we face every year.
Yeah. The West Ham way. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
so
I don't know
So what do you think about possible lineup changes? I know that we try not to really communicate that we're like football experts and like we know everything and we mostly like want to talk about like what goes on with our group, which is kind of a lot more interesting, I think, anyway. But when we're like, we're floating out in the middle of the sea here with no life preserver, everybody's got an idea. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think lineup changes like why isn't like Masuaku even on the bench? What's going on?
This was a guy that they signed him to an extension.
They just like less than 2 months ago.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, Pellegrini believes in him." But he played and he didn't want to play defense.
Well, he's got anger issues, but who doesn't? You want a guy that has passion.
A guy that doesn't spit, sure.
Sure. And so I made a comment about, he was starting to look like he was about to do something like that the last time we saw him play, before he exited the game. But I mean, you've got to believe that he must have learned his lesson from getting a red card for that bullshit, right?
I mean, this goes back to this is the type of player that we can sign and attract, right?
Okay.
Right?
I can take your point there.
To accept this.
Okay. All right.
But that said, I mean, I think you're right. It's curious that he has not been on the bench. He's not been in the match day squad for the last couple of weeks.
But he is training. I see, I look at updates on from Rush Green, and he's there. He's just not being chosen. So something is coming up short for that cat. And he's not the only one. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But
it's I agree with the sentiment that's been going around that we need to let Zabaleta retire with some dignity.
I agree with that
this
as well.
This is not a good. He's not going out on a good note right now.
No.
I mean, I was thoroughly unimpressed that he signed up for another year last spring anyway. I thought it was a cop-out to say that we think this back four is fine the way it is.
I was pretty happy when he signed for that extra year because I see him in most cases before this year. I see him as another one of our enforcers. You know what I mean? Like somebody you can't really F with on the field too much, like a Snodgrass or somebody who's going to, come take your legs out. But this year, whenever he's been on the pitch, he's like a kinder, gentler version of himself out there. I don't know what it is. He's obviously older. He's obviously not as fast as he used to be. But he used to be, I don't know, tougher. And it seems like, you could say that about almost everybody on the team. You know what I mean? Like they're not throwing themselves to the wolves getting... But,
you could say the same for Mark Noble as of late. He's looking old. He's looking. He's not contributing. He was subbed off at the half.
Yeah, I think that the man looks like he needs a rest. But at the beginning of the year, genius, fresh legs, ready to rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The new talking point is it's not necessarily new, but I think it's become especially salient. Is you can't just have Declan by himself. Holding.
Absolutely not.
So anyone you want to throw in next to him, out of position, mind you, but someone who can just give some coverage because we need to start. We cannot be playing as this attacking, free flowing team because it's not working.
The only guy I can really think of is Snods.
Yeah, why not?
There's just all kinds of weird question marks all over the place. So for at one point last year, it was Diop and Balbuena were the squad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, for some reason or another, Obana started showing up and he was awful. I remember a couple of games in particular that was dude, what was that? But now in the past couple of games, before the past two, when Obana was playing, awesome. He is, Diop and him back there together seem so much stronger. Now, I think that the general he obviously has it in him, and those guys hook up. But it's almost okay, so it always looks like Diop's always going to be back there, and it's whoever he has the best rapport with that week in training. Is that how the decision's getting made? It's got to be something more than that.
There's no dispatches from Rush Green on, who's vibing this week.
Right. Something. I wish we could be there. That would be cool.
Yeah, I wish we were.
Hear the banter.
Not in America.
Hear them talk about their online Modern Warfare games.
I wish we had some cred. We didn't end up on, what was that Instagram post that there's a video of us singing and it was English people.
The Wanky Yankees.
Yeah,
guys.
Wanky Yankees. Yeah.
That was so great.
Good times.
To get called imbeciles by these guys was honestly, such an honor.
And I'm sure at least someone listening to this is thinking the same way.
If you haven't checked it out, there's an Instagram account called Wanky Yankees where the guy or guys, whoever runs it, basically makes fun of all American football fans, and basically calling all of them plastics. Okay,
fair enough.
I don't feel plastic, you know what I mean? But I I care as much as I possibly can in a true claret and blue way as I can from 50,000 miles away. But in any case, it was truly an honor to have him call us out when we were singing Bubbles and putting it up on our Instagram. That was actually pretty fun.
Small badge of honor.
Oh, yes. A badge of honor, no, indeed.
Yeah, anything that reflects poorly on us, we'll take it.
Well, I mean, would we have it any other way? Accolades are not really our thing.
We don't know how to take compliments. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So are you even looking forward to this match?
Burnley?
Where are they in the table this week?
One below us. I think I looked earlier. I think they are one spot below us. So Burnley is having a miserable year.
They had that great run a couple years ago. They finished 7th. They even went to the Europa League, and they, in a very West Ham-like way, they just ended before it began, and then they've been cratering since. Right.
So now we can ask Eric, where's your Sean Dyche now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, is he a great motivator? Probably. He definitely pulled a team up by their bootstraps and got them to perform.
Him and Eddie Howe both. Just
True.
Guys that are in these smaller towns have just basically built, no juggernauts, but, a team that can survive, go into the bomb shelter when they need to,
right.
but still come out.
Is now West Ham like too cosmopolitan for somebody like that?
We want to believe that. There's always this sense of entitlement among West Ham. Like, we deserve to win this game. We deserve to win the cup.
We deserve to have 60,000 people at every home game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and this comes with being like the 4th biggest club in London.
Right. Unbelievable. It's sad. It's sad. Like I feel like
it's like we
haven't fit into the shoes the way that we should.
Yeah, we have like this really nice pair.
Right.
We can't try, like, we don't fit in them correctly.
But we walk around in them on the street.
But it's like we paid so much money for it. Like,
week.
I have no choice but to wear them.
Exactly.
And that's where we are.
Right. But the shoe salesman did such a good job getting us in our shoes, right? Told them they were going to be so much better than our trainers.
The only way to become a big club is to be a big club. As, they would say, we got to move to the London Stadium. Yep. There's a correlation.
Yep. Don't remind me when I go on that tour with West Ham Experience and we'll go over to the Upton Park area and he takes us around to the Bowley and all, like a bunch of places that I have been. I'm hoping to hold back tears when I look up for the castles and I see apartment buildings. That's just going to suck. But we're still going to go all those things and we are going to get blasted.
I mean, it's coming up. It's going to be like not even 2 months away now.
52 days.
Nice.
52 days from today.
Counting down.
Yeah, we got it all planned out. So am I looking forward to Burnley? Well, I'm looking forward to another day with my mates. I mean...
Yeah, it'll be great to be back from home.
Every time we get together, win or lose, we're on the booze, as the ladies like to say. And it's fun to get together, and it's fun to throw up the bubbles every time that we... score haphazardly.
I mean, it's still good to like wake up and it's like, oh yeah, it's match day.
And it of course will be good if all of a sudden, by some stroke of absolute surprise, they come ready to play. You know what I mean? And
it would be nice
and surprise us all.
I mean,
give us something to cheer and do shots about.
It'd be nice to at least see a lineup change. So let's we can think about some incremental progress.
I mean, I'm not ready to throw in the towel if that's what you're wondering.
No,
I
don't think relegation is a legitimate worry.
No,
I think
no. They've got to put something together even before Lucas gets back. You know what I mean? They've got to find some.
Yeah. No, I mean,
because otherwise, by the time he gets back in January, we could be easily in that bottom 3. Hell, we could be in that bottom 3 in 2 weeks. I can't remember the point totals, but toitles. I can't remember the toitles, Mark. But in any case, it feels like it could continue to get ugly. I just kind of keep thinking to myself, they're going to get it together. There is talent there. Everybody goes, yeah, they can be hellfire on their day. It's undeniable that they can be. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like we have a really solid signing in Sebastian Haller. I really do. Not just because he's a great player
Yeah.
and has been a great player, but he also doesn't seem to be a head case. He doesn't seem to be
No.
like super full of himself.
No,
And this is totally just perception.
But, the fact that he's relatively quiet
Yep.
as a player,
Yep.
I mean, there is one thing to be said for the lack of service that he's getting up front. But, for what
Absolutely.
you're not hearing off the field, or you're not seeing like some flagrant foul or card on his part,
Right?
is good.
Doesn't lose his shit.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's going to get one of those flying backward bicycle kicks. My God, he seems to
No,
throw.
yeah.
He seems to throw one. You throw in for one like every game. Those giant legs flying over, just going to kick somebody right in the nugget.
One day. And, reinforcements are on the way.
Right.
Antonio,
Yes, Antonio.
ahead of schedule.
Yep. They say he's supposed to be back right after the international break for our O Dark 30 game against Totten shit. Yeah. Should we invite the Endeavor crew? I mean, I want to watch it at our place. You know what I'm saying? But there is a big Tottenham supporters group here. There used to be.
And maybe this is a conversation for another day. But the case for having multiple supporters groups under one roof after my venture away. I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah,
there's something to be said. I mean, I know like the sound is a big thing to you. Getting the match day audio.
Oh, essential.
Is this, yeah.
I don't care if they've got 15 games on. Ours has to have the audio. That's just
I never really
the
gave
control freak in me.
Yeah. I mean, I never really gave a shit about that.
Right.
I mean, when I watched at home, I would play music during games.
Okay.
It's it's a preference.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, understood.
Right.
But
I like to feel as much a part of the game day experience as I possibly can. That's why I do all the stuff that I do as far as the sound and the biggest screen that I can find and bubble machines and all the other stuff. You know what I mean? It's more. I don't want to feel like I'm sitting around in a living room. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
I can appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, this is what we've been living for a couple of years now.
And it's fun. It's inspirational too.
It is fun. It was a different kind of fun where I was at to see people from different teams who would walk around. I mean, they had never seen me before, and they're like,
who the fuck is this guy?
They probably hadn't seen a West Ham kit in ages, and they're just like, oh yeah, West Ham, yeah, like you guys are not doing well. But it's like you get these people coming up and talking to you. You get interest in other games. You have people trading jabs.
Right.
Our Newcastle friend, Colum, when Man City took the lead against Southampton, he was like, he leapt out of his chair and was like, come on, ISIS! Come on, ISIS! It was wild.
Oh, my God.
So it's moments like those that, only come with other people and other games to have reactions to.
Now, one time before I went to on a Costco shopping trip, we stopped at Fido on a Sunday morning. Fido here in Columbus plays, Rangers and Celtic games, and they're also like the Chelsea supporters bar.
Right.
But we ran in there to grab breakfast, and the place was just packed to the gills. This was like at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. And lots of PL fans, lots of Scottish Premier League fans. You know what I mean? And there was cheer over here, this game going on. Cheer over here, this game going on. And West Ham had been the day before, so I was just like, oh, this is cool. I mean, it's cool because the place is absolutely packed and there's all these people.
Yeah,
there's so much excitement going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a different atmosphere for sure.
It's definitely a different atmosphere. And I realize that what we try to put together is more of a singular focus.
But I mean, that's the case of most of these supporters groups in Columbus.
Right.
Everyone has to find their bar.
Right.
I mean, I think it's a story for another day, but the idea of that is something that, my wheels spin on it.
I get the feeling that the Gunners now are over at Point Tavern because John and Willie both moved over there from Hendocks.
That's right.
So we may have to do an away day over there.
I'm always up for an invasion.
Yeah?
Always.
The invasions are fun.
Always a good time.
So Burnley, like, what are you thinking about this weekend?
Well, no clean sheet. Number
Okay.
one. I mean,
so you're just assuming that can't happen.
I mean,
even with a team
it's
below us in the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like we just can't get our shit together defensively whatsoever in your mind.
No.
Because you can't leave everything to Roberto.
I mean, as of late, you can't leave much of anything to him.
Okay.
I mean, Diop and the whichever one you want to pick,
right?
Draw cards.
Yeah.
They could be on their day, but there's still going to be a ball past them.
Right.
And he is not reading things right. He's of questionable quality in this league.
Roberto.
Yeah.
Great tattoos, though.
That's about the only thing you can say about him. The only thing we've been saying about him.
Right. He looks the part.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. So, and I'll be honest, I haven't watched any Burnley match this year.
Neither have I.
Yeah. So
the only thing I really have to go on is what I've read about the fact that they're having kind of a miserable year and they're a place below us in the table. Other than that, I don't know anything.
So we got two teams that are relatively desperate.
Yeah. Think that one's going to be on the gold? Better warm up the fire stick. We ain't going to be on NBCSN this week.
I wonder why.
Even though we might have to watch anyway, because I bet you, I know it's not on our notes, but did you see my Instagram post today about Rebecca Lowe, answering back our post? Maybe you didn't see it.
No.
So our buddy Kyle Martino,
Sure.
ex-Columbus crew, also on the NBCSN broadcast crew.
The American Voice.
The American Voice. And Rebecca Lowe apparently were at a fan fest. Did they do second fan fest in Portland this past week?
I think it was in Austin.
Well, Austin was, I think, 2 weeks ago. I think they just did another one.
They were somewhere, yeah.
Like directly afterward, because I follow both of them on Instagram. Kyle Martino dressed up as Rebecca Lowe.
No shit.
For Halloween. Yeah, you didn't see the picture?
No,
it's pretty it's pretty effing funny, actually. So if you come in here, and then I made a comment because Carl Martino is wearing this the shirt, the V-neck that go all the way down to his navel practically with his chest hair hanging out. It's disgusting. I was like, cover yourself. I said, she would never wear something that low cut, sir. And she's like, absolutely correct.
Okay.
We love our Kyle, but Rebecca. Ooh. Anyway.
And that
she gave us a call out. So anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. But the picture, look at the picture's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I vaguely remember this now.
It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look at all the time I spent on that damn post making that thing pretty. Good Lord. I'm a kook. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to watch it. I might even record it. She might say something about it just because of the Instagram post. Maybe
we're still waiting for,
I'm still waiting for my picture. Or the pictures
we're still
that I
waiting
send
for it
in.
On the lead, yeah.
Never.
One day. We're getting closer.
I mean, first of all, it's never going to happen until West Ham is on one of the featured games. So that could happen against the Spuds.
When no one else is watching,
because they'll be on at 7:30
in the morning.
Exactly. So whoever shows up, we're getting our picture take one more time. We'll go ahead and post #MyPLMorning.
Bar will be open, right?
The bar will be open.
Excellent.
And Josh Tucker will be there with bells on his feet. He has made a personal promise to me. I made him mark it down in his calendar. All right, that's going to be the early game, bro.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So,
and hopefully Antonio back on that day.
We can dream.
Well, that
sounds like to be the case, but I guess
that's what everybody. I don't.
We should take it one game at a time, though.
I don't want the guy to come back and then instantly go out for 6 months. You know what I mean? But he keeps posting stuff on his social media that says
Clearly
he's in beast mode and all this other stuff. Plus, did you see Lucas Fabianski's post today? He's standing playing Modern Warfare, and I'm like, but he's standing, and I'm just like, dude, please sit down and heal your damn hip. Just stay on the chair, will you?
He's a professional.
Oh, okay.
So do you have a scoreline prediction for this match?
Okay, we're going to go bold. Scoreline prediction. West Ham 1, Burnley 0. I'm going with a clean sheet, bro.
Wow.
1-0. And you know what? I would take it all day. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I just don't think it's going to happen that way. Just a feeling I get.
West Ham won.
Okay.
Burnley won.
Draw time.
Could
be just as likely.
Yeah.
But you're going on that assumption that
I'm going. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I'm sticking to that. Until proven otherwise.
Yeah,
and I will happily be wrong when that happens.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think that's where we're at right now.
Okay, and so then after Burnley, we're on international break.
We got a week off.
And
then we got Tottenham.
And then back with Tottenham.
And then starts the Christmas period, which is a pretty tough schedule. So, we're strapping in.
Who else do we have during the festive fixtures that I'll have to look up real quick because I'm a terrible fan?
So, let's see. December 4th, Wolverhampton. December 9th, Arsenal.
Oh.
December 14th.
Also not having a good year.
Southampton. Emery out, right? Oh, yeah. They were supposed to play Liverpool on the 21st. That got moved.
Yeah, but it hasn't been rescheduled, so...
Yeah, Boxing Day against Crystal Palace.
Right. Wish I could be there. Can't, though.
28th, Leicester, as you know.
Yep.
And then New Year's Day, Bournemouth.
Yep.
But, that's not an easy schedule.
Well, that 3 p.m. game. Oh, is this like a Monday? Whoops.
Oh, yes. They also play Chelsea on the 30th. I forgot about that.
Right. Oh, that's right.
On November 30th, I should say.
Right.
So, this is a test.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would love to see them get 3 points, but we could say that we should have gotten 3 points against Sheffield and Newcastle.
We should have. We should have. We should have, and we should have.
I'm sure, there's one game in there where they will have an upset win. They will shock the world in one of them, but there's going to be plenty of frustration in there as well.
Look, they're right up against each other in the table. It's frightening. That's the kind of thing, but Burnley, because I have no knowledge of their current season, I only have, what kind of threat level I felt that they have been in the past to go on. And it makes me a little itchy. Honestly. But I still think we can win it.
I guess we'll check back next time.
We will have to check back next time. Okay, so what else?
What else?
We're back.
We're back.
We're staying.
We're here to stay. You can find us on all the things now. All the platforms.
On all the platforms. It's not officially approved on our Apple friends yet, but we are working hard on that. But you can, whether you're listening to us on SoundCloud or Spotify, or watching us on American Hammers TV, please follow and subscribe. I think we're supposed to say that. Follow, subscribe.
We love attention.
Yeah, I guess we do.
We're gonna have to
we're
start
like those
it.
people.
That's fine. We'll grow into this.
Maybe we can put on the Devo plastic masks and fulfill all of our destinies about being plastics.
Do a Daft Punk thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we can have. We got some lighted glasses next time, dude. I'll get us both lighted glasses.
Lighted glasses.
It'll be a visual.
I'll have a Guy Fawkes mask and try to talk through that.
And Billy and Mick, we are going to get you on maybe even next week. I've got to test the Skype set up and make sure that we can get good audio through my gear. So I'm going to hit you guys up this week.
Do it. DM us. Tweet at us. Do the things.
That's right. The Columbus E13. We're on twitter.com/the Columbus E13. We are on Instagram.com at the CMHE13. We are on Facebook at /Columbus E13.
And we're in Pub Mahone drinking.
That's right.
On match days.
Mark is on Twitter at MARC Mark Rostan, ROSTAN.
You got it.
Hey, see,
I might even start tweeting. Shoot.
Oh my God, you might have to.
I know. Who knew I would make this commitment?
With the thrones of people that are going to be blowing you up, starting to follow tomorrow.
And suddenly I'm a pundit.
There you go. All of a sudden. Okay, so we're going to sign off from Columbus, Ohio. We are the Columbus E13.
Good night.